what were some of the kind of challenges as a business perspective that you struggled? You mentioned closing some of those sales, and then that transition. Do you still do online coaching now for fitness, or is it just working with business women? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, well, no. So, okay. So to give you a bit of a breakdown, like over lockdown, I wouldn't even say that my business was online in terms of. I did have a few clients on Zoom, and I was teaching classes on Zoom, but I wasn't doing any online programming or anything.
Yeah.
And it was all content for, like, obviously, because at the time as well, throughout lockdown, I did play around with just trying to become a fashion influencer.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of different changes and transitions for sure.
But that's good. I think we need that. We need to explore those different avenues to see firstly what we're passionate about, what we're also like naturally good at, and what we feel like we can get the most fulfillment out for serving people.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's what part of what we do is, basically like throwing shit at the wall until it sticks.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
See what sticks.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to put it out there. So the online coaching was quite funny because when obviously I came back to London after lockdown, I was still doing the in-person stuff, and then I think I returned back to F45 for a little bit? I can't remember, but I was still doing all of that. And then I got approached by a company called Linus, and they are an online coaching company that basically scout influencers and other fitness professionals online, and you join their company and they help you scale your online business. So I joined them. At the time, they take quite a big percentage of your earnings, like 30%. So it's quite a big chunk. And I was still very much like, I don't want to do the online coaching. I don't want to do it. Like, I don't enjoy writing plans online. Like, I just wasn't into it. And then my ex-partner, Jack, he was really into the online coaching space, like, really into it. And he's a very successful online coach. And he heavily influenced me to get back into it. And even though that's another conversation for another day with our dynamic towards the end, it kind of broke our relationship, us both doing the same thing, to be honest.
Yep.
But at the same time, I am actually quite grateful because he told me, or he influenced me to or supported me to leave Linus and say, you can do this on your own, I will help you build it up. And to be fair, like in 2022, I did take the leap to do it. And I went from, I don't know, like 2 online clients maybe, to about 10 in 2 or 3 months. So
nice.
I was doing really well, and at that point it was very much a focus on women, CrossFit, lifting, getting stronger. There was no ADHD in the mix at all. But the way that I was getting those clients was very masculine, because I was very influenced with how my partner at the time, he was taught to do it, which was go out, message loads of people on Instagram, cold DMing, getting like, and obviously as a woman, now knowing what I know about business and how I operate, my nervous system was not going to be able to uphold that. It would be like working in recruitment, right? Like, for me, and obviously with ADHD, I couldn't, that just didn't feel aligned with me, even though I do feel like you need to have a little bit of that. But then I decided then to go all in and join the mentorship that I was on. Found the niche of ADHD, and that was very much then focused on ADHD and fitness coaching for women with ADHD.
Yep.
At the time, obviously, I did get in the market very early on. Nobody really knew about ADHD. And I went from, in the space of probably like 3 months, I went from like 10 online clients to 35 online clients.
Well done.
Yeah, like it was insane.
Just a quick announcement before we return to the podcast. If you're enjoying this episode of Midweek Motivation, you may be interested in checking out the Midweek Motivation newsletter, where every week I'll share with you a useful lesson on resilience, mindset, or fitness, or health in general, straight to your inbox. You also receive a free workout of the week, useful resources, and the latest videos that I've got up there. And just if you want to keep updated on my life, you'll find everything there. If you're interested in that, go ahead and hit the link in the description below, or go to Substack and search up Midweek Motivation. All right, let's return to the podcast.
But also, it wasn't the way that I should have been working. It wasn't sustainable for me.
You don't have the system in place for that scale.
I didn't have the systems in place. I didn't have the ability myself. I didn't have the confidence within myself to deal with the ebbs and flows.
Yep.
everything was a personal attack on me. I was taking everything personally. I just couldn't handle it, Cam. Like, you have to be, I'm going to be brutally honest, you have to be fucking hardcore to run a business. Like, there is no fucking around, and I was not at that stage in myself to be able to deal with that. And then it took me having like a really big personal life thing happen with my mum, where she got really sick. But then it was like, if I wasn't there doing it, who was going to do it for me? I needed to take personal time to recover because I was dealing with grieving and all of that. I didn't have the time to. I couldn't do it. So then naturally, I couldn't uphold that level. I couldn't go out on Instagram and find more clients doing the whole thing that I did.
Yep.
So things were reducing. I was losing people, and it was just kind of like a downward spiral. But I also believe that if I was doing it in the way that I was meant to, it wouldn't have happened that way either. But then I started to realize along that journey that I actually didn't enjoy coaching women online for fitness, and more so coaching women online with ADHD for fitness, because these women didn't need a fitness plan, they needed mindset coaching. They needed to rewire how they looked at their fitness journey.
Yep.
And they also needed to get out of the mindset that they couldn't do something because of their ADHD, because I was attracting those kind of women into my circle.
Yep.
Which was also really challenging, because you think about the mental load, because nobody ever talks about this with online coaching as well, right? You basically end up being a therapist to these people.
Yeah.
So you're doing more than a therapist would do. Give them a fitness plan, you're checking in with them, you're holding them accountable on WhatsApp, sorry. You know, you're doing all of these things, and you're literally just like selling your soul to this thing. Because I didn't have very good boundary setting either, so all of this stuff happened.
Plus creating content on the sides.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even chatted about that. Like, that's a whole other situation. Like, that's like a separate job for me. Like, yeah.
It is. It's a full-time job for everyone.
Like, yeah, and I still work with brands and do collaborations and stuff now.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah.
And then they send you a deliverables, and then you send it back, and they're like, oh, we don't like this, can you change it? And like, phew. So that's all happening. So yeah, it's a lot. And then what happened was I realised very quickly on that if I wanted to make a go of it with online coaching, I needed to shift who I worked with, and also find women that could afford it.
Yep.
Because otherwise, with online coaching, you also find that nobody teaches you this. You know, you want to tap into a market with people that aren't going to have payments bounce back and all of that kind of stuff. So I was learning all of this, but I feel like with my business and how it transitioned to the women in business, that was because I could never relate to the women on their ADHD fitness journey, because I've never had an issue going out getting 10k steps. I've never had an issue training.
Got it. Yeah.
So I was like, how am I meant to relate? I was getting angry. I was like, I can't empathize with you. I'm sorry, Karen. I can't. Like,
yeah.
you know, just go out and get your shit done. Like, yes, it's hard sometimes, but chuck a jacket on. It's raining. Cool. Yeah. So I really struggled to work with that clientele. But what I could relate to is that I never wanted any woman with ADHD to have to go through what I did with running a business. Because like, I know that a lot of women probably went down the online coaching route, and especially like me, think, oh, maybe entrepreneurship isn't for me, because if I can't handle it like this, then I can't handle it. When actually, no, you're just getting sucked into a model of online coaching that is like a rinse and repeat that all online coaches use, and you're never taught that there's a different way to do it. Whereas I believed that there was a different way to do it, and there is, because it's about making it work for you. But you can't rush that journey either, because your business is a reflection of your healing journey. So I went on this huge spiritually healing journey in 2023, 2024, which led me to where I am today with my business.
Yeah.